Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Growing tired of knots, tangled up in problems, and not caring enough. Now I'm on a journey to find what's right, always telling the truth.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff Doing about time.
San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Askow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Askow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports World Radio. Jeff Askow in the house with you guys today. Lots and lots and lots to get to. Excuse me. Lots to get to today. We're going to have so much fun. It's going to be ridiculous. If I remember correctly, I do believe we got Nicholas Spiva. It is Monday. Our good friend Nicholas Spiva coming in the second hour of our show. That's right, we do 2 hours every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, and if you live in the Central,
figure it out for yourself.
I tried to catch him off guard just a little bit every once in a while. That's right. Figure it out for yourself. Hey, like our Facebook page over there at sportsworldradio.com/. I'm sorry. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/sportsworldradio. That's the way you're supposed to say it. Head on over to Twitter and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/sportsworldradio. We do our show on sportsworldradio.com. If you're listening to us over there, there's a little red box on the left-hand side. That's for Skype users only. If you're a Skype user and you want to get in touch with the show, click the little red box on the left-hand side and you'll be able to get in touch with the show. If you're a non-Skype user and you want to get into touch with the show, 619-663-3715 is the number. 619-663-3715. I got to make a quick announcement before we bring in the rat bastard. Sports World Radio's NFL Pro Football Pick'em League is up. Taking applications, so to speak. I know our producer, Josh Lopez, is in it. I know Nicholas Spiva is in it. We have a bunch of other people joining. If you want to play in this year's NFL Pick'em League, send your emails to swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com. In the subject line, just put in Pick'em. Give me your name, put your email address in the body, and send it to swrshow@gmail.com. I will send you the invitation to join. Let's get a bunch of people in here. This year, we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Prizes to be given out this year. We're going to have a lot of fun. So everybody, get on board. Send your emails to Sports World Radio. So send your emails to swrshow@gmail.com. Okay, now with all the particulars out of the way, hey, what do you say? We bring in that rat bastard himself, Mr. Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing well, Jeff, and welcome everybody to Sports World Radio. It is Monday, August 4th, 2014. The time is 6:08 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:08 p.m. on the West. And yes, if you live in the Central, you need to figure it out for yourself. Weather right now is, checking right now, 95 degrees out here in Hayden, Idaho. It's supposed to be in the 90s until Thursday. I'm doing well, Jeff. How are you, and how's the weather out in San Diego?
Holy Toledo. 90 what out there?
95 degrees is what it is.
95 degrees? Holy freaking Toledo. Where do you live in? California? Holy moly. 95 degrees. Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably what it is out here. And you want to know something? I'm gonna spew a little garbage right about now. Over the weekend, we had some rain. How about that? We had rain, and it's been so humid out here. I feel like I'm living freaking back in Missouri. in hell. The hell's going on? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Very humid out here, my friend. Very, very humid, and that's not normally the way it lives out here. Normally, it's just freaking hot, but now it's humid and hot. I think I'm freaking living back in New York for Jiminy Cricket's sakes.
Well, it's time for the moisture.
Time for the moisture. It's summertime.
Summer's going too fast, Jeff, and before you know it, it'll be September. Everybody will be focusing on football season.
Did you watch that game last night?
No, I didn't watch any of the Hall of Fame game last night.
Did you watch the Hall of Fame on Saturday night?
No, I did not. I went to the lake on Saturday.
You went to the lake on Saturday. Okay, so you need to watch Michael Strahan's Hall of Fame speech. It's freaking hilarious. You know where you can watch that? If you head on over, if you missed the Hall of Fame inductee on Saturday night, Hall of Fame ceremony, head on over to NFLRealTalk.com, and Michael Strahan's speech is on NFLRealTalk.com. Head on over there, and you get to see it. It's freaking awesome. Hysterical. Great speech. Great speech. Hey, remember a couple of weeks ago I was bitching about Major League Baseball not having their freaking Hall of Fame ceremony on regular TV?
Yeah.
Look what NFL did last night, or Saturday night. They had their Hall of Fame ceremony on TV. I got to see what I wanted to see. You don't hear me bitching about it, do you?
No.
That's because I got to see it. MLB, take note. MLB had a freaking awesome class of 2014 in Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Awesome. And I didn't get to freaking see it because it was on the MLB network. A bunch of jackasses. Pisses me off. So Tony Romo's not going to play in the preseason opener, huh? Thursday night, huh?
Against San Diego. That is
Wussy.
correct. And we start off with the Dallas Cowboys
Wussy.
again, 11 minutes after the hour.
Wussy.
Cowboys are sending out playoff tickets. When the Dallas Cowboys season ticket holders open the envelope with their tickets this week, they might be shocked to find what's in there. Along with all preseason and regular season tickets, there's a sheet of playoff tickets, including a ticket for the NFC Championship game, a game the team hasn't played since the 1995 season. I read this story and I found it pretty hysterical.
I saw this story too, and I couldn't stop laughing for a couple of days.
I think Jerry Jones is getting a little bit overconfident there, saying, "Oh, we're gonna make the playoffs.
They haven't made the playoffs.
Tickets ready."
When was the last time they made the playoffs? 19 what? 96?
The last time the Cowboys made the playoffs, of course,
2006,
was in
right?
January of 2010. They hosted a playoff game at home. They won 34-14 before they got destroyed by the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC divisional playoff game.
2010, right? Was the last time they made the playoffs, correct?
Yes, and in the last 8 playoff games, the Dallas Cowboys are 1-7 in the last 8 playoff games.
They stink. Don't get me started on them.
Well, with Jerry Jones coming out saying, "Get your playoff tickets ready, people."
That's a joke and a half right there. You know that as much as I do. That is funny. When I saw that, I couldn't stop laughing. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
I was itching to talk about it on Friday, but we had technical difficulties on Friday.
It was just unbelievable. I saw that, and I was like, Jerry Jones, you're biting off more than you can freaking chew. Are you kidding me? You haven't made the playoffs since 2010, and people who got season ticket holders are getting their playoff tickets now.
Yes.
They still have to buy them. I'm sorry. Let me say that. They still have to purchase them.
Oh, wow.
But they have them in hand already. How crazy is it? What are you? I read the article, and I understand why he's doing it. And he's really the first team to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand because it happens quickly because you don't know where the games are and all that. You might not get your ticket in time and all that, and I understand it. But come on, man. Your team Hasn't made the playoffs in years, and you're giving out the tickets already. Get the hell out of here.
1-7 in the last 8 playoff games, like I mentioned, and they have been 146 and 142 since 1997.
Stink.
One person commented and said, "False. Everyone knows the Cowboys are garbage." That
They
was on
stink.
August 1st, but this story came out on Friday, but I'm glad we're discussing it. I was like saying Jeff is going to get a huge, huge laugh.
I saw that, and I was laughing my butt off. I saw that.
Encyclopedia Man, welcome, bud. Good to see you.
Well, it only took him a half hour to get in here.
With all the scrutiny on the lack of postseason success for the Dallas Cowboys, who have gone 8-8 each of the past 3 seasons and have missed the playoffs the past 4 years, the actual printing of the tickets and sending them ahead of time to fans is sure to cause a stir, especially because no other NFL team is doing this, except the only team now, the Dallas Cowboys, who believe that this is their year. They will go to the playoffs and have a chance at winning.
I hope they don't make
this
the
Super
playoffs
Bowl.
now. You know something, Jerry Jones? You just stuck your foot in your mouth, because if they don't make the playoffs, everybody's going to laugh at you.
And you're going to laugh at them very first, aren't you?
I'm going to be laughing the loudest. And I'm going to be laughing the loudest and the hardest, because I think it was a mistake that you did. Hey, we're going to run to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio, you rat bastards. How's everybody doing today? Glad everybody could be here with us. We got so much to talk to. Okay, I really quick, I know we were talking about the Cowboys before we went to break and them doing their freaking playoff tickets, but how about my man Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton, of course, the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback.
You think I was going to let you get away with not bringing up my man Andy Dalton? My man!
Probably it was something that you were preparing already, Jeff.
My man, Andy Dalton, 6-year, $115 million contract? How much did Tony Romo sign?
It was a 6-year extension. The Encyclopedia Man would have to know that more than I do.
With Tony Romo, what was it, 110, 125, somewhere around there, right?
Yeah, and Jerry Jones believing, saying, hey, I got my future quarterback who's going to take the Cowboys deeper in playoff history.
How about that? Andy Dalton's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. 6 years, $115 million, man.
Yeah, and I think if you ask for my opinion, it's a great move for the Cincinnati Bengals.
I think so,
to bring
too.
him back. Now, I know the Bengals haven't won a playoff game since January of 1991, but it still remains important that Andy Dalton can still end that drought. He still has potential to get the Bengals into the playoffs and win a playoff game. That's the thing that he needs to do, is just get the monkey off his back, because that's still something that still sticks with him and the Bengals organization and for the Cincinnati Bengals
Yeah,
fans.
but you gotta look at it this way too. He's taken them to 3 straight playoffs. 3 straight years in a row he's taken them to the playoffs. Correct?
Yeah, he's taken them 3 straight years to the playoffs.
How come Tony Romo hasn't done that?
Because Tony Romo can't win the big games, especially in the month of December.
I keep bringing it right back to him. You know why? Because I'm telling you, Andy Dalton is better than Tony Romo.
But if Jerry Jones is on the air and he says, well, if he's better than Tony Romo, then how come he hasn't won 1 playoff game while my quarterback's won 1 playoff game?
Yeah, but Andy Dalton has taken his team to the playoffs 3 years in a row, where your man hasn't taken them to the playoffs in 4 years, 5 years. What the hell's the matter with you? If it was anybody else, he would be gone.
That is right. And for Jerry Jones to say, I blew the opportunity to bring in Johnny Football and Johnny Manziel, and now the fact that you're right, that if they had Andy Dalton, probably Dallas would not be that laughingstock team.
They'd be in
December
the playoffs the
8
last 3
and
years.
3 straight years.
They'd be in the playoffs the last 3 years, but he can't freaking admit it because he's got to stick to his guns because he's a schmuck. Because he's got no choice. Because he's got to ride it out now. Because he opened up his mouth so many times, he's got no choice. He's got to ride it out.
Well, everybody remembers that when Dallas threw 12 games last year with 7-5, I'll be like saying, well, this will be interesting. I was thinking, can they just hold on and get into the playoffs and try to go 11-5 or 10-6 and make it? Turns out, did not happen for the Cowboys. They went 1-3 in the month of December. And when you have a quarterback like Tony Romo, who's 14-21 as a starter in the month of December, that is not a good statistic. So if Dallas is getting too cocky about playoff tickets and saying that we're going to be back and we're going to dominate, they're setting themselves up right now for failure and seeing them choke, because, you know, even Cowboy fans would say, well, why are they doing this when they haven't done anything since 2009? And, of course, when they won that only playoff game of Tony Romo's career and been 1-7 in 8 playoff games. Because in the 90s, of course, back in those days, the Cowboys always dominated when they had Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders. That was a different time back then. But no, with them being 146 and 142, and with all the major coaching moves that they've had, the Cowboys have been the team in rebuilding, and they haven't won a Super Bowl in 19 years, going on 19 years now.
They stink. It's that simple. You stink, Dallas Cowboys.
And I'll never forget how I have to shut the TV off every time December comes, because I think, Jeff, whenever that happens, ESPN and the NFL Network, they blow it way, way out of proportion. And then they talk about why the Cowboys blow these games. Why can't they win the big games? Because, like you said, Jeff, they do stink and they can't get it done in the clutch, especially the month of December, which is the biggest month of the whole football season, when teams are trying to win divisions or just make it in as a wild card.
They stink. They stink. He stinks. You stink. They all stink.
And if you think that Brandon Whedon is a good idea there, that's not a very good option, too.
No.
If you look at the Cowboys, you look at a team that's got 3 quarterbacks all in their 30s. If I were the Cowboys, you could have gone with Johnny Manziel or went with a younger quarterback in the mid-20s or late 20s.
Oops.
Blunder.
Oops. Another oops by Mr. Jerry Jones. Oops, I did it. You know what? Here you go, Jerry Jones. Here's a great Britney Spears song. Oops, I did it again.
Oops, I did it again. I heard
That's right.
that one
there
before.
You go.
That was big in the 90s.
Because he did. He screwed it up again. He screwed it up again.
Yeah, just like everything has gone downhill for them ever since that Super Bowl because
He stinks, they stink, they all stink.
Well, you think about it. You go from Barry Switzer to Chan Gailey to Dave Campo to Bill Parcells to Wade Phillips, and now you're with Jason Garrett. It's just, if you look at that since the last Super Bowl, it's been like, what is it, 5, 6 coaching moves that they've had?
He stinks, they stink. He stinks, they stink, they all stink. He doesn't know what he's doing anymore. I have a feeling he's lost because he doesn't know Well, wait for, you know what? Let's stop the Dallas Cowboy talk because we got Schmedley coming in here. Nicholas Spiva's coming in.
Yeah, you're right about that. Another story
He's the Dallas Cowboy fan of the group. So we'll talk more about Cowboys when he gets into the band.
And we're only 5 weeks away, Jeff, from Monday Night Football on September 8th. I know we'll be ready to have our fastest 2 hours of sports talk.
Yes, we're going to be doing our Saturday night show. I've made the decision.
Okay.
I've made the decision. Screw you people. I've made the decision. The first Saturday night show is going to be September 6th. It'll be the 2 days after the first game, September 6th. We'll make our picks for the first game of the Thursday show.
When we bring Frank in?
When? On Saturday night?
On September 4th, because he comes in the second hour.
What time does the game start on Thursday? 5 o'clock?
I believe the game starts at 5 p.m. Pacific, which would be 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, so when we bring Frank in, because we'll have an hour before the game, we'll bring Frank in, we'll make our picks before the game starts on that Thursday night. Because in the Pick'em League, we have 5 minutes up till game time to make our pick.
I'll get that done way ahead of time,
okay?
Especially with Thursday
I made
nights.
I changed it this year, so everybody has 5 minutes. So if you join our Pick'em League this year, 5 minutes up till game time, till each game time, you have 5 minutes to make your pick. How about up until 5 minutes before the game starts to make your pick? That's cool, right?
That's a good choice, yeah.
Because if you do it at the, there was 1 week that I missed because I was like, holy moly, I just missed it for some stupid reason. So you got up until 5 minutes before each game starts to make your picks. So this September 6th, Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. 9 o'clock Eastern. 6 o'clock Pacific, Mr. Sean, on a Saturday night.
That's what we'll do every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m.
Starting
Pacific.
September 6th. We're going 1 hour.
1 hour.
And everybody's going to be on the line with us. We're going to talk crap, and then we're going to go make our picks. We're doing a fast show on Saturday nights because it's Saturday night. It's 9 o'clock. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
So that's going to be the deal for our NFL show this year. 1 hour, Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. If you live in the Central,
figure it out for yourself.
A 1 hour show starting on September 6th. NFL's coming at you. It's going to be fun. It's going to take us a half hour. Yeah. It's going to take us a half hour just to get through the 5 of us making our picks. You know that, right?
Yeah, Frank says he'll be happy to come in too.
Yeah.
Tell him about that too.
I figured if we do it at 9 p.m. Eastern, we're over at 10. It's not too late past his bedtime. So what? So they're at 8 p.m. right?
It will be 8 p.m. Central Time,
right.
Which would be 6 p.m. Pacific our time.
Right.
Then when we get done with that fast hour for the NFL,
it'll be
we'll
9
have the rest
p.m.
of the night to ourselves. We'll have the whole night ahead.
It'll be 9 p.m. on in Central Time Zone when the show is over. Perfect, because I think he goes to bed early, so it'll be perfect. He won't be going to bed too late. Wussy.
Okay.
Wussy.
And that's right after chilling, right? That's after chilling with
Yeah,
Jeff
see, that's the thing. That's why I only want to do an hour, because I got to do chilling with Jeff and Kenny C at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and that's an hour. So I'll be going from chilling right into our show. So I don't want to go from chilling, doing an hour of that, going into 2 hours of me doing the NFL show and doing 3 hours of radio on a Saturday night. What the hell do I want to do 3 hours of radio on a Saturday night for? Right?
There you go. Right.
So it's bad enough I got to do 2. Okay? Now, I like my Saturday evenings and Sunday evenings kind of free. I enjoy it. Kind of relaxes me. Gets me energized for the week. Now I only have Sunday. See what I do for you people? I just give and give and give and give and give, and what do I get in return? Jack shit.
we could say thank you, Jeff. Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Well, you know what? I would like to hear somebody say thank you, Jeff, for a change. But what do I get? Nothing.
Nothing in return. Yeah.
Nothing, honey. That's what you get. Nothing, honey. Nothing. Hey, on that note, we're going to run to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow Show, man, on
Sports World Radio.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow Show. Sean and I'm cracking Sean up while we're on hold, and I could just hear him laughing. I said something to him, and he just started laughing, and it made me laugh. And we came back from break with me laughing. Sorry about that, boys and girls. Right, Sean? He's still laughing.
I know. I'm trying to tell Frank about our show for NFL.
He's sitting there cracking up, and I said something to him, and he started laughing before he put himself on mute. And I heard him laugh, and it just started making me crack up because I knew he was laughing as soon as it came out of my mouth. I knew you were laughing.
Well, here we go.
Look, you can't even keep going, can you?
Next story we go to the NFL again. The Lions promote recycling with
recycling.
Recycling with jerseys. Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions' other quarterbacks will look a little different when they practice at Ford Field on Wednesday night. Instead of wearing red, they'll be donning a bright shade of highlighter green for jerseys made from 21 recycled plastic bottles.
Huh?
21 recycled plastic bottles. That's what the Encyclopedia Man sent to me.
The Lions?
Yeah, the Detroit Lions. And there you go, Jeff. Just sent you the story so you can take a look at it. They did well. I'm sure they're realizing, okay, we're the Detroit Lions. Football season hasn't started. We realize there's plenty of summer left, even though it's winding down. Let's be a little bit creative.
Oh, it's just the quarterbacks, though.
Yeah, the Detroit Yeah.
So
Matthew Stafford and the Lions are their quarterbacks. That's what they're going to do. Their quarterbacks are probably saying, why not? Let's be creative. Let's have a little bit of fun.
No, they're going to wear green jerseys to know that they're the quarterbacks so they don't get freaking hit.
That's right.
Who they playing? Who they playing? Or is it just a scrimmage among themselves? Oh, in practice.
Yep,
Yeah,
in practice. That's
so they're
on
gonna wear
Wednesday
them
night.
they're gonna wear them during practice so you don't hit the quarterback. So each jersey is made out of 21 recycled bottles.
Yeah.
Is there a picture with it?
There should be. Yeah, there's an image right there.
I know where you sent it to me, but I
Lions
can't.
quarterbacks will wear bright green jerseys made from 21 recycled plastic bottles on Wednesday night.
Put the link in the chat room for me instead. In the show, not in the Skype room.
All right, I'm gonna do it right now. Let everybody take a look.
Yeah, because that's freaking just crazy. I'll just copy and paste it really quick.
I put it in there. I already did.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just copy and paste it and stick it in here and go. I want to see this. Is it that 20 out of 21 freaking bottles?
Yeah.
Promoting recycling with. Oh, I see the jerseys now. Those are some bright green jerseys, man.
Yeah, they are bright. And that's what the Lions are probably thinking. They're probably saying,
God, those are ugly.
Be creative and have some fun.
Yeah, that's like, okay, I'm the quarterback. Don't hit me in practice.
Yeah, don't drill me in practice and don't hurt me because I want to be healthy with the whole NFL season coming up.
I'm a quarterback. Don't hurt me. Don't drill me. Right?
Right.
That's crazy. That's just nuts. Bright green. Are you kidding me? Those are ugly.
From 21 recycled
plastic bottles on one. Yeah. 21.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This initiative is a reflection of the Ford family's commitment to leading in the area of sustainability. Lions President Tom Lewand said in a statement, as an example, through our partnership with Reprieve, we will be expanding to 500 recycling bins throughout Ford Field, making it easy for fans and guests to make the smart throw. The Lions have a goal of recycling every piece of trash they can throughout the season. Holy freaking moly, Batman.
Quite a bit.
That's
Lions have a goal of recycling. Yeah, that's right. Every piece of trash they.
Yeah, that's like the green highlighter that people use. That color freaks me out, man. Because I'm freaking colorblind to begin with. That color just freaks my eyes out badly. I can't look at that no more. Sorry, but it freaks me out badly.
It freaks me out too. And it's very bewildering. You would never see that out of an NFL team where you just add the recycled jerseys.
No, never. Right? Never, right?
Right, and promote the recycling with your... that's crazy.
It is crazy. It is way crazy. Way crazy. Way too crazy.
In the NBA, here's another story. Mark Cuban wants own World Cup. In the wake of Paul George's gruesome leg fracture suffered Friday while on Team USA's duty, Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban has renewed his call for the NBA and its players to organize their own quadrennial competition separate from the sport's international governing body.
He's just opening up his mouth again, ain't he?
Mark Cuban says, long known as the NBA's most outspoken critic of international basketball, Cuban has again questioned when NBA teams allowed their players to play for their national teams while taking on the bulk of the financial risk in the event of injury.
Wow.
He goes, my thoughts go out to Paul, Cuban told ESPN.com on Saturday. I really feel bad for him. Cuban then reiterated for long-standing criticism of the NBA's agreement with the FIBA, which stipulates that only players themselves can refuse their country's invite to play for the national team except in the event of a, quote, reasonable medical concern. The San Antonio Spurs invoked that clause this week to prevent Manu Ginobili from representing Argentina at the FIBA's upcoming Basketball World Cup, thanks to the lingering effects of a stress fracture. So Mark Cuban is trying to, again, open up his mouth saying, I want own World Cup.
He's crazy. Come on,
Cuban,
man.
yeah, Jeff, Mark Cuban said, the greatest trick overplayed was the IOC, convincing the world that the Olympics were about patriotism and national pride instead of money. The players and owners should get together and create our own World Cup of basketball.
I agree.
I can agree with Cuban there because he's trying to say, let's open it up a little bit. Let's be creative and make it better and make it worldwide.
Got to do something.
Yeah, something to fix it and to make it good.
Got to figure out something, right?
Yeah, and that's why Cuban says, let's try to expand it before the NBA season comes up. In a statement issued Saturday, Pacers president Larry Bird said, quote, we still support USA basketball and believe in the NBA's goals of exposing our game, our teams, and players worldwide. This is an extremely unfortunate injury that occurred on a highly visible stage, but could also have occurred anytime, anywhere. And I would say that the Pacers feel bad about what's happened. They refused to lash out after potentially losing George for the entire first season of his new 5-year contract, 5-year, $92 million max contract that kicks in this upcoming season. Did you hear that, Jeff? And what did you think about what happened with that Indiana Pacers player, George?
I saw the break on the leg.
Wow.
I saw it happen. It was nasty. I mean, you could see it just whoop right in half. I mean, it was viciously nasty.
If you want my own opinion about Indiana Pacers, I really feel that this year, not only is Frank Vogel's job on the line, but I feel that it's more of a rebuilding year for the Indiana Pacers because they're going to be competitive in the East, but it's going to be very tough to overtake either Chicago or Cleveland.
Very tough. Very tough.
And I know that Larry Bird came out and he said back in June back in May, it was when they lost to Miami, actually to Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals. I remember Larry Bird coming out and saying Vogel's job is safe. He'll be back as Pacers coach. But I think this is it. I think with the fact that Paul George got hurt, they've lost some other key players. I think if Indiana doesn't have a good year or if they make the playoffs and don't get far, you can say goodbye to Frank Vogel, and you can see the end of probably the era with Indiana. Of course, the Pacers have been pretty tough to beat the last couple years they've made it to the NBA playoffs.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. And for the Pacers, they've been last time they ever won a championship was back in the days when they were in the ABA, and of course
they're going to lose about $16.5 million for that broken foot.
Yeah.
But I also know that he'll come back and be most likely 100% and just as good. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Because there's no ligament, no tendon damage. It's just a fracture. Just a vicious fracture.
It really, really dooms their chances for the Indiana Pacers. And
for the upcoming season, you bet your sweet ass it does. Not only does it dooms their season, plus they're out $16.5 million. So that kind of stinks. So you're going in, if you're an Indiana Pacers fan, you don't expect much now going into the season, but you got to have your high hopes for next season. I mean, it kind of sucks that this season is a loss already before it even starts. And who knows? It's the East, dude. It's the East.
It's not, and remember, it's not where it's Miami all by themselves in an Eastern Conference.
It's the East now.
After all the moves that's gone on this summer, the East is wide open, as you say, when basketball gets here in late October.
And even if I happen to think, yes, if Kevin Love looks like he is going to Cleveland, if he does go to Cleveland, so that puts Cleveland a little bit of notch above pretty much maybe everybody else in the East except for Chicago. I still think Chicago's a better team.
I think so, too. I think the Bulls are just a little bit better than Cleveland. And I know
and I think they're young, and I think they're younger than
Cavs
Cleveland.
And Bulls are going to be battling it out and even battling it in the NBA playoffs.
And I think they're younger than Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I still think it's the Bulls. I think it's the Bulls' East to lose. And as a Knicks fan, that makes me vomit. But as a talk show host, I have to be neutral. And I see it as a basketball fan. I see the Chicago Bulls still being the better team in the East.
They are, because the Bulls have some veterans. They have some key players. The Cavs, we got to go to update real quickly. We're a minute behind, but I'm going to just say, Cavs, if you remember that time you told me to read on the show the Cavaliers roster, they are a young team. They got one player who is 19, and you have players in their early 20s.
Well, they're going to lose their first-round pick this year.
With LeBron coming back, he's going to have to teach them the whole system too.
They're going to lose their first-round pick this year, their first-round pick from the last year, and their first-round pick next year for Love. So they're not going to have all those young guys who don't know how. Kevin Love's coming in, and they're bringing in some old guys as well. So, I don't see it. I don't see it because you let LeBron score his 40 or 50 points, and you stop everybody else, they ain't going to win.
It's true.
It ain't going to happen. They ain't going to win. And on that note, let's run to our first update of the day. This update is brought to you by shirtshopper.net. Head on over to shirtshopper.net, kids. NFL season is upon us. Head on over there and get your NFL shirt today. Shirtshopper.net. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody. 47 minutes past the hour on this Monday, August 4th, 2014. In the NFL, last night was the NFL Hall of Fame game. The New York Football Giants, they take the game 17-13 as it is the beginning of the NFL exhibition season. The NFL season officially begins on Thursday, September 4th, 2014. And then, of course, all the games will be September 7th and September 8th. Lots of games on those 2 days. In big news today, the Cincinnati Bengals made some news today. They signed a $115 million contract with Andy Dalton today. It was a 6-year deal. How bad does Jones feel about that, especially when he thinks that he has Tony Romo for that 6-year deal and thinking that he has his future quarterback. Other news to report from the NFL, of course, Thursday's games. There will be a lot of them as the exhibition season continues. In the NBA, of course, the Indiana Pacers feel really, really bad because Paul George is going to be missing the whole season as he got injured Saturday night for Team USA as the international basketball is going on, especially for players to win medals. The NBA season is coming up, starts in late October, and players will be training very, very shortly for the NBA season, with October coming up, which is the preseason. In Major League Baseball, of course, the big news coming. There have been a lot of big trades, of course, from last week. The big news is David Price went to the Detroit Tigers in a 3-team trade. The Boston Red Sox, they made some big news. John Lester and Johnny Gomes went to the Oakland Athletics for Cespedes. Andrew Miller was traded to the Baltimore Orioles for a minor league pitcher. And John Lackey was traded for Alan Craig of the St. Louis Cardinals. Stephen Drew was traded to the Yankees for Kelly Johnson. So that's the big news from the MLB trade talks and the trade deadline as more news about trades possibly comes. All right, now we get to the games for tonight in the National League. One final from this afternoon. The San Francisco Giants played the New York Mets up in the borough of Queens in New York City. The Giants take the game 4-3. Two other games. These are interleague play games, by the way. The Baltimore Orioles, the red-hot Baltimore Orioles, taking on the Washington Nationals. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, who are currently battling it out with the Oakland Athletics in the American League West, they're taking on the team that is red-hot, and that would be the Los Angeles Dodgers. Monday Night Baseball on ESPN, it'll be the Detroit Tigers taking on the New York Yankees up at Yankee Stadium. Interleague play, it'll be the Cincinnati Reds at the Cleveland Indians. Back to the American League, the Texas Rangers at the Chicago White Sox, and the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Oakland Athletics. We're going to commercial. This is brought to you by shirtshopper.net. And after this commercial, we got plenty more sports talk to talk about. And then in the second hour, we'll have Nicholas Spiva coming on for his sports perspective. We'll be right back after commercial.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Back to Sports World Radio. FS Scout Sean Mann in your face every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And if you live in the Central,
figure it out for yourself.
Damn Skippy bitches.
All right, Jeff, our next story we get to at 53 minutes past the hour. Some of the big trades for Major League Baseball, as I mentioned in my update. I really think, in my personal opinion, that the American League Championship Series, I'm calling it right now, is going to be Detroit and the Oakland Athletics. The Tigers just improved themselves big time by getting David Price in the trade. And I'll tell you, Jeff, I think the Tampa Bay Rays made a very, very big mistake to get rid of David Price.
What about Baltimore? You don't like Baltimore?
Baltimore is going to take the American League East. There's no doubt about it. Buck Showalter has them playing great baseball. If they can get, I was watching MLB Network on Friday, and they were saying if the Orioles can get Chris Davis going, watch out for the Orioles because they are very well will take the AL East. And I think Toronto is going to hold on and do that second wild card spot. But don't rule out a couple other teams. I know the Yankees are in there, but I still think the Yankees could be in trouble with all the injuries they've suffered. And you're wondering how long can they stay in it. They got a big series against Detroit this week. And another team that's still kind of hanging in this in the American League Central is the Kansas City Royals. But now with David Price getting the going over to Detroit, that just put the Tigers as the team possibly to beat in the American League. But Baltimore, you're right. I can't rule them out. They're playing good ball too.
I want to tell you something. I was watching ESPN the other morning, okay?
Yeah.
And the guy comes on and he says 45 of MLB's ESPN analysts out of 45 of the MLB ESPN analysts that they have at ESPN, 2 of them picked Baltimore to win the East.
It tells me that
they're stupid. That's what it tells me, that those 43 other people don't know what the hell they're doing. Let me ask you a question, Sean. Who here on Sports World Radio picked Baltimore to win the East?
Well, you went with Tampa Bay to start the season, but you had the O's as a team that could get in there as a wild card. But I don't remember anybody who picked Baltimore.
Baltimore's winning it. I'm telling you right now, Baltimore's winning that freaking thing. Remember at the beginning of the year, I was torn between Baltimore and Tampa Bay?
I remember that back in late March, and we had Frank on, and you were just having a tough time trying to decide who would be the team that could win the American League
East. I really
East.
thought it was going to be Baltimore, and I went with freaking Tampa Bay, and I was freaking wrong, but let's go Baltimore. But 2 out of the 43 MLB analysts that they have over there at ESPN got it right. What the hell does that say? It says that those 43 other people don't know what the hell they're doing.
They're not, and I know very well, Jeff, that with baseball season coming to an end next month in late September, we're very close to possibly seeing both Red Sox and Yankees not in the playoffs. I watched the game Saturday when I came home from the lake on Saturday afternoon, and they were talking about how odd it is that the Red Sox or Yankees are not in first place in the division or in second place. But you know what? Here's the way I view it. The way I view it is it doesn't last forever. You realize that sometimes maybe streaks in sport end. And if it's possible both teams don't make it, it's pretty much simple. Both teams are rebuilding. The Yankees thinking that they were going to make all the moves in the offseason, that they improved themselves, and that they were going to be good. Very, very wrong. I said, look, the problem with the Yankees is what pitching? How's their pitching going to be? Their pitching hasn't been really the best, and with CC Sabathia being injured and out for the year, Teixeira missing time, Beltran missing time, Tanaka has been out for a while. I'll tell you, the Yankees are very lucky to be in this thing, and if they don't beat Detroit and they get a split or lose 3 out of 4, get swept by them, I will tell you it does not make the Yankees look any better in that second wild card spot. And it could come down to a race between Toronto and possibly Kansas City. But Baltimore for sure is going to win the American League East. They have been so tough to beat. They have done very well against the Yankees. Baltimore is like 6-3 or 6-2 against the Yankees this year. And you know who will be really smiling, Jeff, if both the Red Sox and Yankees don't make it? Not just you, but Buck Showalter will be very proud about that because he dislikes both teams.
Yes, he does dislike both teams. How ironic is that? Didn't he coach for both teams?
Buck Showalter was manager of the New York Yankees from 1992 to 1995, and he never worked with the Red Sox.
Not the Red Sox, just the Yankees.
Yeah, just the Yankees.
Okay.
And I don't think he had a very good relationship with George Steinbrenner. I don't think he did.
No, I don't. Well, he was there for a little bit, wasn't he?
He was, and then they let him go, and then they brought in Joe Torre in November of '95.
And then Joe Torre freaking blammo, whammo, slammo.
Yeah, it took them all the way. So that's one of the big moves, and I think, with the Oakland A's acquiring John Lester and Johnny Gomes, that makes the A's the team that has a very good chance of winning the American League West. But if I'm an Oakland A fan, your concern is not just to win the division, but you're trying to hold off a team that is very red hot and a team that we didn't see a lot of productivity, which is the LA Angels of Anaheim. Right now, the Angels are right with Oakland.
The Angels are what? One game behind Oakland, correct?
Yeah, and I know that sometimes the A's and the Angels have battled it out before throughout their history, like going back to 2004 before we go to commercial break. The Angels took 2 out of 3 and ended it right there for the Oakland Athletics.
Yes. I still think Oakland's going to win that division. I really like what Oakland's been doing. Billy Beane is just on his freaking game.
I still say, though, that if you're an A's fan, I have a buddy of mine who's an Oakland Athletics fan, not very happy that the fact that they lost a key power hitter in Cespedes.
No, correct. Sure, no, I get that. I totally get that. But look what they got in return.
Yeah.
Cespedes he's got a great arm, and he's an up-and-coming player. Yes. But come on. And they needed more pitching, and they got it. And Johnny Gomez, what a freaking hell of a thing he did there, huh?
Yep.
I mean, Johnny Gomez is a hell of a player too, ain't he?
Johnny Gomes is a good player and a good pickup for Oakland, but for them to lose Cespedes, that's going to be kind of a problem for them, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we got to run to commercial. When we come back, we'll be talking more sports and hope that Nicholas Spiva will be on.
We'll be right back after this quick break.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey, Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk every single day, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. in the West. And if you live in the Central,
figure that out for yourself.
Damn skippy, boys and girls. All right, so I guess Nicholas is nowhere to be found. He's MIA.
Yeah, he is missing right now. I don't know where he's at. Anyway, we talk about, when we last left off the show, we were talking about the A's. You still say, though, Jeff, before our next commercial break, you still say Oakland is the team that could still come out there. I'm looking at it right now. Here they are up one game, and I felt like, well, they're going to pretty much run away with this thing. Oakland is 5-5 in the last 10 games. The Angels are 6-4 in their last 10 games. Right now, it's very, very hard to determine how that AL West is going to go down. And Seattle, of course, I got to involve them, is in a battle with Toronto, Kansas City, and the Yankees. And, of course, don't rule out the Rays and the Indians. The White Sox are there, too. So there are like 5, 6, or maybe like 7 teams right now that are battling it out for that second wild card spot, but Toronto is leading. And I got to ask you, Jeff, too. Toronto kind of is started to play better. You know, remember they were like 51-49, and they're thinking, pretty much this probably might be the end. But John Gibbons has kept that team together. Do you think, Jeff, that it still goes to Toronto for that second wild card spot?
The way it's looking right now, it does. Anybody but the Yankees and Boston, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, well, you won't have to worry about Boston. We're not going to make the playoffs.
Did you put your gear away yet?
Got to be the homer there a little bit.
Did you put your gear away yet?
I have put my gear away. As you notice on my Facebook, I just uploaded a cover photo of Gillette Stadium, and I uploaded a new profile picture with that new Bruins hoodie I got off Amazon.com.
God. Oh, God. Oh, golly. He took his Boston Red Sox gear down and probably put up his New England Patriot gear.
So, Jeff, I'm going to ask you real quickly.
No.
You know, are you saying that you'll really think that the Yankees, could they be in trouble this week? They got Detroit coming in.
Yankees?
Yeah.
Well, if they, what is it, about 20 games left?
Let's see, 57 and 53. I think there's like almost close to like 49, 48 games left.
Whew. That's a tough one. I'd like to see Detroit win and just totally knock them out. Get them, just say, that's it, done with you.
Yeah.
You know? Basically is what I really would want. So, we'll see what happens, though. Man, It's getting hot in here.
Sure is getting hot indeed. So, that's what is going on as far as Major League Baseball is concerned, and especially all the big trades that happened last week. And, Jeff, with the Red Sox, I got to bring them up. With the Red Sox making the moves, what do you think? Do you think it means that well, in my opinion, if you want to ask me, they're cleaning house already. They pretty much have eliminated and gotten rid of a lot of their pitching staff. So it's a lot of work for them to do. Ben Cherington has a lot of work. But when John Lester got scratched from that start on Wednesday night, the 30th of July, I said, well, that tells me that he's going to get traded to one of those 6 teams. And woke up Thursday morning and saw how the trade went. And they traded him to Oakland.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Right?
I knew it was coming because and expected it.
I'm sure you did expect it.
But here's the thing with John Lester. He has even come out and said that whatever the result is for free agency in the offseason, he says he would not mind coming back to Boston to sign a new contract with them. So I expect the Red Sox will be very active. Well, they'll be very, very active. They know they won't make the playoffs this year. They're done. They know that they've got a lot of work to do to fix their pitching, and I would say that they have got it. Really, the key for the Red Sox is going out there and fix their hitting. I was wondering and had questions about their hitting, because 1 through 9, and there's been like 5 or 6 rookies. That's been a really tough thing for them. So they need to go back to the drawing board and fix everything up and be ready to go in 2015.
You think they can?
I think it's possible that they can do that. Another story, though, we got to get away from this. Another story, Pete Van Wieren. He was the guy who called Atlanta Braves games on Ted Turner's Superstation, Sad News to Report, passed away at the age of 69. And, Jeff, I got to tell you, I do remember him very well. He was, of course, a guy who called a lot of Brave games on TBS. And I'm sure, Jeff, you remember TBS out of Atlanta with Ted Turner. Of course, since he bought the Braves, they put a lot of Atlanta Brave games on.
Yes. Yes. No, I listened to him growing up as a kid, listening to on TBS, listening to Atlanta Brave games. Man, he was a great announcer. He was one of the
Chipper
guys
Jones,
I
he
listened
said
to.
on his Twitter, he goes, "It's a sad day in Braves country as Pete Van Wieren has passed away at the age of 69 because he lost his battle with cancer."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "I grew up watching him every night."
Yeah.
And we'll miss you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Well, I can remember that was the thing. TBS had a lot of Atlanta Braves games starting in the 90s, and that lasted until 2007. Chip Carey came on, and I don't know if Pete Van Wieren was on there, but it went till 2007 when the Braves did a lot of games, and then they decided to switch that where they would always play the Sunday afternoon games on TBS. Of course, this year they haven't done it until now, since like late May they did a game, and then of course they've done it in July. So baseball is kind of changing with TBS, but they'll be doing broadcasting and calling the October baseball games.
Right. It's going to be very, very interesting, ain't it?
Yeah, but Pete Van Wieren, he was good.
Yeah, I feel sorry for all those Atlanta Brave fans because he was excellent to listen to. He was like the Harry Carey of the South.
Yeah, well, remember there was Skip Carey. Skip Carey used to do a lot of the Brave games, and he had a very funny accent with the way he, the way he called those games. Kind of like a little bit of a Southern accent, a little bit. And then Pete Van Wieren, so did a great job. And then when Chip Carey, he used to call the Chicago Cub games for a while. Then he moved to Atlanta, and he called those games too.
No, I agree with you. I'm with you. It's going to be missed.
Yeah, going to be missed indeed. So Chipper Jones was really, really saddened about that news of the loss of Pete Van Wieren. So rest in peace to him. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
Yes, indeedy.
The other news to report, though, from the, NFL, of course, last night was the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. The New York Football Giants, they took the game 17-13 last night. They rallied late to beat the Bills. They were down and, of course, came back and won. They were down 13-10. They got the go-ahead touchdown in the fourth to take the game 17-13. Eli, he did not start in the game, I believe. And, of course, Nassib was there. He was 7 of 12 for the Giants. He threw for 139 yards, 1 TD pass, and no INTs. And then the Bills used, of course, well, pretty much the Giants and the Bills have used their, like, second-string quarterbacks. And I think that Eli Manning's realizing, I want to make sure that I'm not well, actually, he did start, but just for like a series. It wasn't very much, though, last night. I didn't even watch the game, but I'm just kind of getting it down. And, Jeff, what do you expect from Eli this year? You're the big Giant fan.
Hopefully he'll play a lot better. I mean, they got to play a lot better, don't they, in order for them to do anything. So they got a new offensive line. They got a new defense, new offensive coordinator. It's going to be interesting to watch this year. I'm looking forward to see what happens. He can't be any worse than last year, can he?
The important thing before we get to this next commercial break is that the Giants can't afford to get off to a slow start. The reason they missed it is because when you get off to 0-6 or 0-7 starts, very tough to dig yourself out of that hole because now you've just gotten yourself a bigger hole. So Giants defense has to be improved, which I believe it will. And that NFC East, pretty much in my opinion, is a two-team race. I think it's going to be Philadelphia and New York in the NFC East division.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's going to be a two-team race.
A lot of people are picking Philadelphia to win that division because of what's going on with Dallas and what's going on with the Giants.
Yeah, the Redskins are just a team, DJ Gary One-Arm's team, just another team that's basically in the rebuilding mode. Got to run to commercial break. We'll be right back.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow new way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann with you each and every Monday through Friday, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. You want to get in touch with the show and you have Skype? Head on over to SportsWorldRadio.com. Click the little red icon on the left-hand side. For Skype users only, you can give us a ring. They'll direct you right to the show. If you don't have Skype, give us a call at 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715. Hey, remember to join our Pro Football Pick'em League this year. Send your emails to swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com to join our Pro Football Pick'em League this year. It's up. It's ready for people to be invited. Send your emails to swrshow@gmail.com. Subject, Pro Football Pick'em, or just put in Pick'em. Give me your name, your email address in the body. I will send you the invitation to join. Let's get going, boys and girls. We only have a couple of weeks to get this thing all set up. I'd like to have lots and lots and lots of people in here. This way I can beat all of you. swrshow@gmail.com to join our Pro Football Pick'em League. I will send you the invitation. All right. With all that being said, let's bring in back Sean Mann. And what do you got for me, buddy?
Brett Favre to be inducted in July. Back to the NFL. The plans to induct Brett Favre into the Packers Hall of Fame and retire his uniform number 4 on the same night next summer have been in the works since November. Yet when former team president Bob Harlan inducted Favre on Monday at the news conference to announce the plans, Favre's first response was, quote, "Wow, I'm speechless." And then in Favre's typical conversational fashion, he spent the next 30 minutes reflecting via teleconference on the 16 years he played in Green Bay.
Yeah,
The decision to unretire in 2008 that divided the Packers fan base, the 3 years that followed him with the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings, and what it means to be welcomed back into the Packer family.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Brett Favre says, quote, "I was always a Packer, and it's like borrowed time elsewhere." Favre said from his home in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, quote, "I played my heart out each and every year I played, and I'm proud of that. I was proud to say that I am a Packer and will always be a Packer, and am honored that I've gotten the opportunity to do that."
Well, you kind of knew it was going to happen. Because he's got to go in the Hall of Fame as a Packer, doesn't he?
He has to go into the Hall of Fame. He has done so
But
much.
yeah,
for
I
the
know,
team.
but he's got to go in as a Packer. He can't go in as a Viking.
He won't go in as a Viking. He will go in the Hall of Fame as a Packer.
He
'Cause
has
did
to.
a lot with the Packers. He came there in 1992. He turned the whole Green Bay Packer organization around, got them deeper into the playoffs. He won a Super Bowl with them, which was the 96 Packers. So he did a lot. And I think and I know we did a story on this a couple weeks ago, Jeff, and I think with Packer fans, they will be more, I think they'll appreciate it even more.
He has to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Don't you think?
Yep.
I mean, come on, for Jiminy Cricket's sakes. If you don't, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Right? He has to.
Right on.
I mean, if they don't, they should be. Well, it also depends on how the fans are going to accept them, but the fans should accept them pretty fairly, correct?
Correct.
I mean, you can't see him going into the Hall of Fame as a Viking or as a Jet, can you?
No.
All right, then.
You know, the Jets was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and then he, of course, he went 1-4 in the last 5 games. You know, the Jets were the 8-3 team. Everybody was saying, watch out for them. There was talk of a Jet-Giants Super Bowl that Chris Collinsworth said on Football Night in America. That didn't happen. They ended up failing. And then Favre said, then I'm going to retire from the NFL after the 2008 season. Then he came back and made the decision in 2009 to say, I'm going to come back and be a Minnesota Viking. And I know that when he went to Minnesota, and I think we did a show with that, Jeff. I know that was right before you went to Kansas City, that what ended up happening is he went there, and of course he was trying to stick it, I believe it was to Ted Thompson, who was one of the owners of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. 100%. I'm right
that
there.
Angered Packer fans. Packer fans didn't, because one, he went to the rival Vikings, and 2, they felt that he was a traitor and that he abandoned them. And I know that people were ready for that first game back when Brett Favre was starting as quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you, brother. 100% with you.
So I agree that it's wise that he goes in as a Packer.
I mean,
if he's saying always a Packer, that's a good thing.
I mean, he's always he's got more Packer crap than he has Viking and Jet crap combined.
Yeah.
So come on, how do you go? How do you spend what 16 seasons in Packerland?
Mm-hmm.
How do you not go in as a Packer? Yes, it didn't end well, but still, come on. That would be disgraceful in the NFL if they let him go in as a Viking or a Jet.
No, he'll go in as a Packer. And, of course, you think about it, too. When Brett Favre does his part and goes in there, people will appreciate what he's done. Brett Favre was like the best thing for the Packers since Bart Starr, when Bart Starr was quarterback there for Green Bay. And then when Favre came, people thought, yeah, he's going to be the best thing since Bart Starr.
The best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
As the old saying goes, the best thing since sliced bread. But it wasn't true, was it?
No.
Okay, then.
I don't think it was.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl since Favre's left, right?
Well, yeah, and Packer fans had to expect that. They had to realize and say, we have to move on without Brett Favre. We have to realize that we have to go with the team we have, and that's exactly what they did. And Aaron Rodgers did that in 2010.
Yes,
2010, he took them there, and a lot of people didn't even think that he could get the job done, and the Packers were pretty much the underdogs, and then they went there, and they were able to knock off the Pittsburgh Steelers in a close game, 31-25.
Yep. What do you got next?
The next story that we get to, we stay again with the NFL. Another story that we have, of course, Manziel takes the first team reps. The next story, okay, Johnny Manziel takes first team reps. Rookie quarterback Johnny Manziel took all the reps with the first team during the Cleveland Browns practice Monday, but Coach Mike Pettine cautioned against making too much of it. It was the first time in training camp Manziel had a first team rep, and he spent the entire session with the starters, 2 days after the Browns' intra-squad scrimmage. Manziel is competing with Brian Hoyer for the starting job. And that's going to be the biggest problem, too, with the Cleveland Browns. Okay, who would they want for their starting quarterback? Do they want to go with Brian Hoyer, or do they want to go with this rookie named Johnny Manziel? It really depends on what is good for the Cleveland Browns. They have to do what's best for them, because Browns haven't won a playoff game in such a long, long time, and the last time they made a playoff appearance was 2002.
Johnny Manziel ain't going to be in the NFL for long. It's going to be another freaking Tim Tebow.
Manziel and Hoyer were not available to the media on Monday, so that's a big question mark. And they have that poll. Who will be the Browns' starting quarterback in Week 1? Will it be Brian Hoyer?
Yes.
Or will it be Johnny Manziel?
No, it'll be Brian Hoyer.
Because of his experience.
Yeah, and I don't give a rat's ass that Johnny Manziel took snaps with the first string today. I don't care. Brian Hoyer is your starting quarterback. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I don't, because that's how I see it. Brian Hoyer is your starting quarterback, and that's that. If you have Johnny Manziel as your starting quarterback, you might as well kiss your season goodbye. Bye-bye. That's all I got to say for that.
Because, yeah, he needs more experience, and every time you draft a rookie out, you realize it's going to take time for the rookie to get familiar with the new NFL system.
Mm-hmm. You bet. You bet.
And it's going to be a new challenge. So the coach for the Browns, Coach Pettine, has got a very tough choice to make. I would say, if I were you, Jeff, I agree. I think that going with this option of going with Hoyer is better than having Johnny Manziel. If Manziel and LeBron think they're going to be the answer for Cleveland, people in Cleveland are getting a little bit too cocky.
I happen to think that LeBron's going to win one before Johnny Manziel is in Cleveland, because I don't think Johnny Manziel is going to be in the NFL in 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, it's just the way I see it.
Or maybe perhaps none of them win it, and Cleveland fans go back to mourning because they have suffered a lot of heartbreak.
Yeah, and then LeBron leaves again. It really pisses them off.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Cleveland fans should not be getting too cocky about this, too.
No, they shouldn't. They should be just chilling out, relaxing. Exactly right. You're 100% right. Hey, you know what, kids? We're getting out of here a little early today. It's like 145 in the studio right now, and I'm just not comfortable. So I'm ending the show a little bit early. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Sports World Radio. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. Until tomorrow, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. For Sean Mann, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Peace out, bitches.
Later.
Hey, boy, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When's that?
Pretty